One of the real strengths of Wesleyan, which has really taken me a long way, is the idea of not just taking information and spinning it back out, but really applying it and thinking about how to use it in a different way. So for example, what I do now, often the basic concept really are from Wesleyan, because I take a lot of information, molecular biology, and apply it. If I would basically just spit it out, it really wouldn't serve me and my patients well. So the take-home message is you have to really think about the basic physiology, but use it in a different way. Also make it apply for that specific individual patient, which is really very different. Most people sort of think, okay, you have an infection and you give an antibiotic, but you really have to think more about how it works. How does it get absorbed? How is it distributed? And how is it excreted or metabolized? And you have to think about that in a different way, because for each person, that interaction is very different. I think I'm also very involved in a community way, as many Wesleyan students are. I'm doing something, for example, that's really, really very exciting. I'm part of a group that's basically creating the first specimen, blood and tissue for men with prostate cancer. African American men get prostate cancer about twice as often as white men. There really isn't anything like that that's available now. So we want to sort of build the data that will drive how patients like this or at high risk are cared for. That's really very exciting and sort of typical of a Wesleyan student who's thinking about, well, what do we need and how we can make our community better. Everyone comes to Wesleyan thinking that they really understand themselves, but when they leave, they realize that maybe they didn't, because they change so profoundly during the 4 years. I certainly did. Now that's true for everyone, I think, wherever they go to school, but I think there's a lot of introspection at Wesleyan that really forces you to think about yourself and the rest of society and how you fit in and how you're going to make it better, and also how are you going to change it.